So,
wanted to ask the panel if they would agree that if we think about design and its connection with society and politics in general, is it possible to have a discussion about design today in a sort of because in a lot of countries in Europe, we're still in the middle of this crisis. Can we talk about design in the vacuum of politics and society, big society?
can I just ask you to define the question a bit more? Do you believe that design is in a vacuum? Is design distinct?
I think a discussion like this
from those
makes
things
it sort of appear that it's in a vacuum, but in fact, I think that all important developments in design have been connected with social movements. I think the Bauhaus was a reflection of organized labor and organized labor's ability to achieve a decent wage for people who work in factories. And I think that at the moment, it's a sort of a before and after moment in terms of the world crisis.
You were applauding the question there, Matteo, so...
He is confirming the question I asked you before. Designism is gone. So his question is very... You should sit on the panel and go on, because what are we discussing? We are discussing about something finished, and Michael was perfectly right. September 11 was the end. That's why my comment about design is that Osama bin Laden was the very last designer.
Well, it's interesting that Damien Hirst made this statement just after 9/11, that he thought that 9/11 was the greatest artistic statement of all time, but then had to apologize for it because the situation was so sensitive and raw that people thought he was out of line.
Sorry for saying that.
Yeah, it's a question to Mike. I was wondering if I got you correctly when you said designism, something that would be needed for a designism, that everybody's informed about design. Did I get that correctly?
I would say that designism, I wanted to, because it's so easy to say that we are fed up with design somehow, that we have seen it all. And I think we still have to keep this curiosity within the design process. And because there are so many worries in the everyday life, we shouldn't become too serious. Because design is as well an expression of fun. It's manufactured is as well something playful. And this I don't want to forget. Because in the end, it's as well about the emotion. Especially with Dornbracht, I think, of course, the pleasure, you get the experience through the water. The technology, now we are able to create scenarios, which is even greater because you bring in as well soundness and light. But when it's off, you still have an object, maybe a sculpture, and it pleases your eyes and it pleases your thoughts. It reflects some of these thoughts.
As an ism, it's still, I mean, if you say design has to be fun, this is the ism that you're mentioning.
No, this I wouldn't say. I would just say, really think everything together. And the fact is that we have so much going on, it shouldn't, the answer shouldn't be minimalism. We should have as well a diversity still.
I agree with that.
Do you think...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because all the time the debate about minimalism is a problem, because, I mean, in art it's much more complicated, because everybody thinks minimalism is something about simple objects, and it's just the opposite. Minimalism was in the art a movement of perceiving things in a very, very specific way, and so it's a part of the art where the viewer itself is in the center, and that's also, but that was only where I was laughing about the debate about minimalism, and I know it's different a little bit in design.
And we talked about this at dinner last night as well, briefly, which is that that so much of design is now experienced through the media, that the media is the lens in which people consume design. And you made the point last night that it's not the same as going to a museum and experiencing an object as seeing it on an iPad or in a magazine. But the point that I was making is that but the media experience is the thing that's changing faster now than the design experience. And so if there is an ism that comes after designism, maybe it's mediaism. And then maybe the media and the Twitter falls and the iPad and the digital technology, maybe that is the thing that is coming after design in a way, since it's become the gateway to a lot of people's experience.
But as long as we have a body, that's not a problem. So we can touch each other, we can touch things, we can smell, we can look, we can experience everything in a very different way. And so
in that sense, design keeps us in the real world because it's physical.